shoebox. His innocent face blinked up at me as the other children took their seats, watching me as I went about pulling up today's curriculum on my laptop. I took note of the battered box the boy gripped almost protectively against his chest, dirty nails pressing into its flesh. I tore my gaze away to check what day it was. "What did you bring for show and tell today, Tyler?" I asked absently, mentally preparing myself for one of his usual long-winded stories. "God lives in here," Tyler proudly announced. "What?" "God lives in here, Miss Simmons." The classroom quietened down to a secretive murmur, and Tyler hurried to his seat in an awkward rush. I sat baffled for a moment or two longer, and my mind lingered on the idea, when one of the keener children reminded me that I hadn't checked roll call yet. I finally sank back into my working day. As for the rest of the morning, it was smooth, with only one or two instances of talking at the back of the class, both involving Tyler and the box, which had seemed to become the talking point amongst the class by the time recess rolled around. The bell rang its piercing tune, and a stampede of joy fled my classroom, leaving one child, Ben, alone, still fixed to his seat and clutching his belly. It wasn't an uncommon occurrence to find a child reluctant to leave for recess. There are many factors that can cause this type of behavior, but as far as I was aware, Ben was a bright kid, well-liked, and was happily involved in the classroom talk before the bell rang. I approached his desk and crouched down to eye level. "Are you feeling okay, Ben? It's a lovely day outside." He shook his head, uncomfortably shifting in his seat, warily flicking his gaze across the room. My eyes followed his, looking over my shoulder at the mottled shoebox on Tyler's desk. Greasy gray hair seeped out from under the lid, webbed and knotted, spilling over the edge and down to the floor in a cascade of filth. A lump crawled up my throat, and I turned to grab Ben, but as I laid eyes upon him, I recoiled in horror. The boy had been silently choking, fingers entwined and gripped in matted knots of bile and half-digested Cheerios, desperately trying to find an end to his torment. I screamed for help. Ben was rushed off to hospital, and myself and the school's nurse went home for the day. I can still hear her panicked voice behind the door as she tried to reassure Ben that everything was going to be okay, that helpless fear that eats you alive as you watch someone succumb to something you cannot control. The box was yet another grim mystery that sat heavy on my mind. The thing that Tyler said, the hair, Ben. I tried to rationalize it, but it was about as rational as the first 4 words I was told that morning. The more I thought about it, the more my stomach started to itch.